Tommy Townsend with us in the Hyundai Texans Radio Studio. Tommy, how's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, excited for this week. It's going to be a good one. So
thanks for visiting with us. We're looking forward to seeing you work in Baltimore, and it's a big challenge. So take us through punting outdoors versus punting indoors, because you've had both this year. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously punting outdoors, you bring in certain conditions like, wind is the most important thing for me since, I'm kicking a moving object. But yeah, dealt with a lot of wind, when I was in Kansas City, and obviously indoors, you get no conditions or no wind really. So it's a lot more to be predictable with different winds and gusts and all that stuff. So that's something I check going into the week, what the wind's going to be like in the stadium and miles per hour, just so I know what to expect.
SoFi is considered an outdoor stadium. It was hot as hell in there. It felt like an outdoor game. Did that change at all the way you had to punt during that game because that stadium?
A little bit, not really. So SoFi is a very interesting stadium to where it feels like you're punting into the wind both ways.
Really?
Since both ends are open, and it's something weird about the stadium where it feels like just punting into the breeze a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So especially when I'm hitting the plus 50 end over end punts, I try and drive the ball a little bit more because the wind coming in kind of tends to knock it down a little bit. And same thing, like when I'm, when I'm backed up, I'm hitting open field punts. It feels like I might have a little bit of a breeze at the back, but as soon as it gets to midfield, it kind of holds the ball up. So I have to try and launch it just a little bit lower.
Yeah. How do you decide whether to go coffin corner-ish or go, I'm just going to punt it straight and just try to hang it inside the 10 so the return man catches the ball? Not one of those where he lets it go and it bounces into the end zone, but it often checks up for you as well. So how do you make those decisions?
So honestly, it just kind of depends on the day. Punting, kicking is very similar to golf to where, you're not going to feel the same every day and you're going to be more confident doing certain things. But something we were really excited about this past week was the first punt of the game. I hit they call it a banana ball.
Yeah.
Which is becoming, a little bit more common around the league.
You kind of turn the ball?
Yeah, so you kind of like, if I'm hitting a normal spiral, I turn the nose, in towards about 11 o'clock. But with the banana ball, you turn it the opposite direction and kind of put the nose down, swing through the back of the ball, and it kind of gets like a weird kind of spirally banana rotation to it.
Kind of like almost like a knuckleball sort of feeling?
Yeah, it kind of like goes up. It kind of like loops. It kind of like goes up to the right and then back down around to the left and then back down to the right.
God.
So it's difficult for the returners to catch.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to catch the snap, position the ball, do all that in a split second while people are trying to take your head off, basically.
Something like that. Yeah.
And that's got to be pretty tough to do and do accurately. I notice you practice sometimes just lowering the ball onto your foot or something like that. You're walking around with it by yourself. Give us an idea of some of the things you work on just to get that repetition going so you can execute.
Yeah, a big thing with punting the ball is timing up your leg swing with the drop and ball position, like the angle of the ball.
Right.
Everybody has different drops. People like different things. And so like a big thing for me, like right now, is like I'm just trying to keep it low and have the nose of the ball turned in. And one of my tendencies is dropping inside, so I'm trying to keep it outside my foot a little bit. So I'm just sitting there. I walk up and down the sideline, and I have these feels with my body that I'm trying to get the ball in the right spot. With my eyes, the feel in my hand. I don't want the nose to be too far back in my palm. I want to be more in my fingertips. So small things like that, but it makes it easier when you got an awesome snapper like Austin Brinkman. He's been incredible this year. He's been snapping me great balls on punt. So I couldn't be more thrilled to have him.
Tommy, when we think about punting, it's got a lot of, relationship with golf because you think about how it lands, you want it to bite, you want it to do different things. And when golf, you've got a pitching wedge, you got a 9-iron, you got a driver, you've got 3-wood, you got all these different kind of clubs. Makes me feel like, and just so you talk, there are different, things you can do with the football. How many different punts do you have? Different punt styles, kind of like golf clubs in your bag. Do you have different punt styles that you have? Like, I want this one to bounce and come back. I want this one. This is I'm hitting it as far as I possibly can. Do you look at it that way? Kind of like you've got this golf bag full of different punts that you have?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I do when I'm so I go out early on the field pregame and I'll walk the field, feel the wind, and I'll kind of get mental reps in my head. And then same thing pregame. I'm hitting a bunch of different types of balls, trying to find the right ball flight in the windows that I need to put it through to hit the best ball.
Right.
But same thing, it kind of depends on wind. If I have a little bit of a breeze in the face, I tend to straighten the ball up and drop the nose a little bit to get a little bit more of like a piercing ball flight. and say like I have wind like left to right off the back moving this way, I tend to take my line a little bit more straight and turn the nose of the ball in more flat and hit, really tight spinning ball.
Yeah.
And the wind kind of helps push it over to the right. So it's all about just manipulating the ball to like try and optimize, the punt for whatever the scenario is.
So it is like a golf club. Like sometimes you bring out the 9-iron, sometimes you get out the 3-iron. You got to hammer one. The one that you hammered the other day, what was the goal? And by the way, you didn't have a sheet in your locker afterwards, testing you or anything because of how much you hit a bomb. What, did you? I mean, I kind of got worried about that.
I got one today.
I told you.
There's nothing to worry about.
I told you it was coming. He hit an 80-yard punt. That one just, I'm getting rid of this ball and I'm just hammering with everything I got. Was that getting the driver out of the golf bag?
Yeah, so that was just one of the punts where it's like, okay, like it's best ball scenario. Like I just want to get it out. I want to hit a good punt. And we had an alert, so we were originally going to go right across field. We had an alert overload on the right, so we went left. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. You'd think punts that are coming out of the air more softly, balls that are kind of like you hit a turnover, the nose comes down like this. Sometimes you hit the ones that come down sideways.
Yeah.
That those typically are the ones that jump forward, but it's really interesting. Sometimes when you hit a really tight spinning ball and, it's really launched, sometimes the nose of the ball will just dig right into the ground and kick straight back up. And fortunately, that's what happened on that one,
Yeah.
This is like everything you wanted to know about punting, but we're afraid to ask. What about...
I'm telling you the most interesting conversation. I mean, I've talked to Tommy about this before, just the different... I remember you were talking about Kansas City punting outside versus punting inside. And he's like, I'm so used to punting outside that punting inside is going to take a little bit. But Shane Leckler was the same way. I remember talking to Shane years ago. We were in Oakland, which is where he was used to, and he gave me the breakdown. He's like, if we're going this way, we're on this hash. We're going this way. I know the wind will do this in this stadium, so I punt this. It's over here. I do this. Then he went through every stadium in the AFC West and did the same thing. Like, there's so much that goes into it. It's so fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I kind of did my rookie years. I kind of reached out to some of the other specialists around the league and, like before traveling to play in their stadium is like, hey, like what are kind of the tendencies like with wind, like what typically happens? Like, because it's different everywhere you go. Like Jacksonville's very swirly and it's pretty hard to like predict what the wind's going to do. And yeah, unfortunately, like I had a couple of those where like, I hit in the game and, I thought I hit a great ball and I look up and the wind just hits it up top and just rips it out of bounds. And yeah, so you really got to adjust. You got to be on your toes and just know what the wind in the stadium is going to do.
Yeah.
Why don't we have rugby punts in the NFL? Are we too cool for that? What's going on?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm good with the traditional punting style.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, K-balls, because you, all punters and kickers use a K-ball, and we've heard a lot about that this week. What's the difference between a K-ball and a regular football?
Yeah, so with the quarterback balls, they use mud to break them in, and I think it just helps keep the ball a little bit more grippy for quarterbacks when it's wet. I mean, centers are pretty sweaty guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just that. But yeah,
so yours is more the straight kind of football.
Yeah, so ours is just a brand new ball straight out of the bag, and yeah, one of our guys, Mike, he'll sit there and break in the balls, just straight leather. He'll put water on it to help like soften it up, and kind of break it in with the back of the brush and brush it out with the bristles, and it gets this. We call it like tacky, so it's kind of like sticky a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, K-balls are, much more red, just that true like leather color, which I like that. Like I don't like looking at like dark footballs. I like looking at the red footballs.
So in the first game of the year, the Chiefs are playing the Chargers, and there's a moment right at the end of the half where Chiefs receiver was tackling bounds. They've got to have a fire drill field goal. He runs to the middle of the field. He gives the ball to the ref. They spot it. They kick it. He makes it from, 58, 59, whatever it was. And then there was talk afterwards, like, he didn't kick the K-ball. So is making a punt or a field goal that much more difficult with the regular ball? I know for a punt, you more than likely have time to get your ball in.
Yeah.
But if you don't, is it that much more difficult to kick the tackified ball that the offense is using?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, the quarterback balls are, since they don't really break it in with the back of the brush, the leather's, it's very it's pretty hard. It's not very like malleable.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ball just doesn't really come off the same, and it just doesn't have as much pop. And we actually had that happen to us week one, the very first snap of the game, and that was I think it was an extra point, and there was some trouble with the play. The refs were trying to figure out if the spot was correct or if it was a touchdown, and they left the quarterback ball in. So Austin Brinkman, he had his very first snap in the NFL with a quarterback ball.
Yeah.
So we got that for him, gave it to him.
I have an idea.
Cool.
So the inflatability, it's the same, right? There's no Deflategate worry because you guys want the maximum amount of air in there.
Yeah.
Hear me out, Tommy. Helium. Just kidding. Okay.
Oh,
I'll have to talk to Mike about that one.
I don't know if it's legal, but just a thought here. I want to ask you about Neyland Stadium because you played at Florida, you played at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Home field advantage, the craziness at Neyland Stadium and or maybe the Swamp versus some NFL buildings. It's just a different atmosphere, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, SEC environment's just it's incredible as is, but yeah, I mean, Tennessee was an extremely special place, and sometimes it's like, maybe I wanted to stay, but it was a great move going to Florida. But yeah, just the SEC environment in general. I mean, the stadiums get rocking, and anytime there's a big rivalry or matchup, I mean, it's just it's kind of an unparalleled environment. It's very different to the NFL. I wouldn't say one's better or worse, but.
Right.
But yeah, they're just very different environments.
What's the difference really as far as your job is concerned?
Honestly, I don't really think there's much of a difference. I mean, either way, it's go out and execute.
Right.
But I've talked about this, a little bit over the years. The only time that I've really heard and noticed crowd noise was my senior year. We were playing at LSU Death Valley night game. And ball was on like the 2-yard line, and oh my gosh, like it felt like the fans were like right on my back, just going crazy. So that was really the only time I've noticed like crowd noise. I try and stay in my zone when I go out there.
Okay, you ready for the draft? You and me. This draft is real simple.
Right.
It's just four turns, back and forth. We've done different topics with different guys. Okay, yours it's a little different. You got 4 that you can pick. You got a punter, kicker, a Gator, a Vol. You can take them in any order, okay? You go first, then I'll follow. So it isn't like you just get all of them. You get a punter, a kicker, a Gator, a Vol for your draft, and you'll go against me. Okay. We'll see who ends up with a better draft. All right, but I'll let you go first.
Okay, for sure. I guess I'll start out with Florida. One of the guys that I played with, Evan McPherson, kicker, Florida, absolute dog. He does a great job.
So is he your Gator, your kicker?
So I get one of each.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So the Gator can be any position.
Any position, any.
Okay, I see.
A punter, a kicker, a Gator, a Vol.
Okay, we'll put him as the kicker.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll put him as kicker.
That's pretty good. My punter's gonna be Tommy Townsend. I'll go with him. Okay, I got Townsend.
All right.
He's all right.
Next. So you got a punter, a Gator, a Vol.
Yeah, I'll go punter. I'll just keep it at Townsend. I'll go Johnny Townsend when he was at
That's right.
Yeah, he was incredible at Florida.
Okay, for kicker for me, I think I'm gonna go Chris Brown. I'm gonna go OG Texan.
The original Texans place kicker.
OG place kicker Chris Brown. All right, Gators and Vols are both left for us.
For sure. Gators, I'm going Percy Harvin. He was one of my favorite players growing up. Obviously just like an absolute animal, both college, NFL.
Sure.
Volunteer, I'm gonna go
Arian Foster.
That's a good one. But that's really good. Mark Knott, you said Fred Weary could be another one. That could go that way.
Texans.
But I think I'm gonna go Jason Witten.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Jason Witten as my Vol.
He was pretty good.
That's what I'm going as my Vol. So I got a Gator, you got a Vol.
Yeah. For my Vol, I mean, I could go the easy way out and do Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to stick with the guys that I know, the guys I played with. Yeah. Josh Dobbs, Astro Dobbs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, good one.
Oh, my gosh, incredible guy, genius, and just an incredible player. I mean, I loved seeing him when he had that run in Minnesota and was taking off. So I'm always excited to see him get some opportunities in the league.
Okay, so I got a chance to see a lot of 90s Gators. I mean, I saw them all up close. I lived in Jacksonville, so I got a chance to see all of them. The one guy that just amazed me every time that I saw him was the freak, Javon Curse. And when I first saw him, Javon Curse, I'll never forget it. Bob Stoops had him on defense. He was playing safety because he came out of college or high school playing safety.
Right.
And then every year under Stoops, he kind of moved closer and closer until he got to his defensive end position. I was like, I think that fits.
That was
before
Tommy was born, by the way.
Yeah, probably was.
Okay.
But you know the freak. You know Javon Curse.
Yeah, of course.
All right, pretty good.
You go Emmitt Smith as a Gator. How about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Smith.
Could have gone.
Yeah.
We should have.
But he's a Cowboy, so forget about it. Tommy, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Boom.